Now on 4 News Now at 6, beach access is now limited at Liberty Lake. Why the city is closing sections of the park ahead of the start of summer vacation.
We have a major warm-up on the way when we could see the return of 80-degree weather. Plus, I'm tracking some isolated showers in your first alert forecast.
And a local food pantry struggling to keep the shelves stocked. Hear from one mother who relies on places just like this to feed her family of 5. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We begin with breaking news on a racist attack in Coeur d'Alene. There will be no charges filed in the case of racial harassment involving the University of Utah women's basketball team while they stayed in Coeur d'Alene during the NCAA tournament. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Derek Dice. Here's what we know from the charging decision from the prosecutor's office, which was sent out late this afternoon. An 18-year-old Post Falls high school student confessed to yelling the racial slur at the team. And we aren't naming him because he's not being charged with a crime. The prosecutor says the decision to not file charges is because the use of the racial slur could not meet the legal requirements for any of the narrow categories of unprotected speech.
In the complaint review charging decision document, the Coeur d'Alene City Prosecutor's Office writes, "In short, I cannot find probable cause that shouting out of a moving vehicle at a group of people constituted either disturbing the peace under state law or disorderly conduct under the Coeur d'Alene Municipal Code." Tony Stewart of the Kootenai County Task Force on Human Relations says he's disappointed in the decision, but says the report proves the incident did happen. In Liberty Lake, the only public beach will close while renovations take over the regional park. If you're planning a day trip to Liberty Lake Regional Park this summer, you're going to have to find a new one.
2 weeks ago, Spokane County broke ground on renovations for the area. The park is located south of the Liberty Lake Golf Course on South Zephyr Road. Come October, the road will also close to be widened and repaved. Our Hunter Bertram explains why it's happening now and how you can still access some of the area this summer.
With just a month left of school and summer on the horizon, you're going to want to start to plan what you and your family are going to do this summer. But you should take one thing into consideration. Liberty Lake Regional Park is closed this whole season.
Typically, when you take the time to visit this park, you are greeted with the sound of chirping birds and wind in the trees. But this summer, it'll look and sound much different.
Spokane County parks are established, they're maintained, and they're improved upon thanks to public support and tax dollars.
It's undergoing a $3.3 million makeover. That money will be used over the next few months as the park will receive new beach restrooms, beach picnic shelters, a floating dock, paved parking, and several other improvements.
So all of this is important when it comes to making amenities available, making the experience available to everyone we can in our community.
The bad part is the timing, and that's because construction crews cannot do these improvements while the ground is frozen.
In order to do extensive work like this, the ground has to be thawed. We have to have good weather. We have to have warm weather. We can't do something like this in the middle of winter. It's just not possible.
So for the community, this summer will have to sit this day trip out. It also will cut off access to the trails just beyond the park's entrance.
So please be patient. I know this is inconvenient. I know it's a disappointment, but we're taking care of what you have already invested in, and we're actually improving upon it.
There is a way you can get into the park and enjoy what's not fenced off for construction. Campers will still be able to make reservations and access the park. For more information on the construction timeline and making reservations this summer, head to our website at kxoy.com. In Liberty Lake, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
More headaches for drivers. Construction on 2 major roads began today. Old asphalt will be removed and new asphalt will be poured on Monroe Street and on Magnesium Road. Monroe Street between Francis Avenue and Kiernan Avenue is now reduced to 1 lane in both directions. Lanes are also closed on Magnesium Road between Division and Nevada Street. Drivers are encouraged to slow down and follow detours. Hey, also remember those businesses that are impacted by these projects.
Around the world tonight, Hamas says it's accepted a ceasefire deal with Israel, but Israel says it's not the deal under discussion. The latest framework calls for the release of 20 to 33 Israeli hostages over several weeks. In return, there would also be an exchange involving Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. Captive Israeli soldiers and bodies of hostages would also be part of this agreement. According to Israeli and U.S. officials, Israel helped craft a different proposal, but it will not support the one Hamas agreed to because it calls for an end to the war. Meanwhile, Israel continues to threaten a ground offensive in Rafah. Explosions were heard Monday night in an area Israel ordered evacuated. We'll explain what the U.S. is doing to clear up the confusion and try to broker a deal tonight at 6:30.
In your first alert forecast, we have a warm-up on the way, but first, rain and thunderstorms around the region tonight.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is tracking those storms. Chris.
Well, the storms have definitely tapered off quite a bit just in the last little bit. You could see some virga or very light rain showers on the horizon here in downtown. Here's a look at our Doppler radar, and you can see a few isolated spots where we had some cloud-to-ground lightning, and now we are left with a few showers, but they are not producing much in the way of lightning. Here's a closer view on our Doppler radar at a line of showers along the Whitman-Spokane County line. Some showers that did develop around the Rockford area and we're moving into Worley. Those have really tapered off. We just have some light rain showers there now. The potential that you could still hear a rumble of thunder yet this evening, but as we get closer to sunset, those odds are going down. Winds around the region are higher around the shower activity. 32-mile-per-hour gusts in Pullman. We have 28-mile-per-hour gusts in Moses Lake. These winds will die down a little bit this evening, but it is going to stay breezy overnight and through the day tomorrow as well. Here's a look at your forecast for this evening. Temperatures in the 50s at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a cool night. We're headed down into the 30s. We'll be in the 40s at 11 o'clock. Sustained winds at 10 miles per hour. Occasionally seeing some higher gusts this evening. I'll be back with you the second half of your forecast for tomorrow, as well as a big warm-up in the 7-day. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. And as we are talking about a warm-up, it's important to start preparing for fire season now. Experts say now's the time to identify any fire hazards that are around your home. That includes clearing out debris in your gutters and clearing out overgrown vegetation near your home.
This is basically trying to address what ends up being fuel for the wildfire in our communities, which can be anything from the structures themselves to the vegetation on our landscape.
Preparation may not only save your home, but it could also help crews dealing with a dangerous and unpredictable situation. It's also important that you and your family are prepared in case you need to leave your home at a moment's notice. That's why now's the time to create a wildfire action plan, and that includes an evacuation plan. According to readyforwildfire.org, a successful plan includes an emergency meeting location outside of the fire or hazard area. Also identifying several different escape routes from your home and community. Practice these before a wildfire. And another thing to do, create a family communication plan. For more tips on how to prepare for wildfire season, head to KXLY.com/firewatch.
Well, we all know diet and exercise play an important part in our heart health, but one study suggests your mental health can also play a factor.
We'll explain why loneliness and increased stress can impact your mental health.
All of a sudden, I just seen a gun pointing right at me.
And a pastor attacked in the middle of service. Hear from the man who jumped in to save him.
Plus, families in Elk are scared they may not make it through the week with empty shelves at the food pantry. Hear how a single mom is surviving.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
4 News Now is brought to you by Aligned Family Chiropractic.
We want your furniture. During our spring cleaning sale, bring in or send us photos of furniture you no longer want. And if it's in good condition, we'll consign it for you. Plus, give you an additional 20% off your next purchase.
Consign furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
There's a good feeling we get when we show up for others, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, or a local nonprofit we care about. And it's not just about the good feels. Volunteering or donating money to support nonprofit organizations helps everyone in the community. When you give what you can, great things happen for everyone. That's what Give Big is all about. On May 7th and 8th, visit wagives.org to discover and donate to nonprofits that are making good things happen in your community and around our state.
Join STCU Best of Broadway for classic comedies, family favorites, and blockbuster hits live at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Season tickets include Stephen Sondheim's smash hit musical comedy Company, Funny Girl, the hit Broadway show with one of the greatest musical scores of all time, hilarious fan favorite Beetlejuice, feel-good celebration Mamma Mia, and the multi-Tony Award-winning new musical MJ. Order season tickets to reserve your seats now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
Start living your life to the fullest by living simply in a tiny home from Portable Cedar Cabins. Less is truly more with all the amenities and comforts of a traditional home with a much smaller footprint. Each home is custom built and ready for you to move in and start enjoying the little things in life, including financial freedom. Homes from Portable Cedar Cabins are about half the price of the competition and about a quarter of the cost of a traditional home. Contact Portable Cedar Cabins today. Your worry-free tiny home is waiting for you just north of Spirit Lake, Idaho on Highway 41.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
We want your furniture. During our spring cleaning sale, bring in or send us photos of furniture you no longer want. And if it's in good condition, we'll consign it for you. Plus, give you an additional 20% off your next purchase.
Consign furniture. Easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
I've been utilizing the food bank to help spread the cost of whatnot. And last week coming in here, I felt a serious concern with how empty our shelves are.
That's Samantha Martin, a single mom of 5, talking about the current state of the North County Food Pantry in Elk. Volunteers with the food pantry say their clientele has nearly doubled in recent years, yet their budget has remained the same.
They say their donated food supply from Second Harvest has also drastically decreased, and they can't afford to purchase any more food. Marissa Rio shows us the severity of the issue.
The North County Food Pantry is a place that serves roughly 100 low-income families a week, a nonprofit that is vital to the community. But inside, bare shelves plague the pantry. Inside the cooler that usually holds boxes and boxes of produce is now emptier than it's ever been.
We're going to have kids being hungry for the summer, and I'm not okay with that.
Samantha Martin utilizes the food pantry to make sure her family is fed. As she shows me the one box of food she was able to get today, she says she's usually able to leave with more. But with the shelves running so low, Samantha will have to make her one box of food last the whole week for her entire family of 6.
If I can't afford the $10 for a 5-pound bag of flour at the store and they don't have it here, then I can't make what my kids are accustomed to. It's to the point where I'm keeping a milk cow so that I have fresh milk and fresh butter.
Volunteers with the food pantry say they are in need of non-perishables like soups, noodles, cereal, cake mix, and more. The New Hope Resource Center is part of the same nonprofit that the North County Food Pantry is, and it's struggling as well. The director here says that funding is so low that they are currently in a spending freeze, meaning they're not able to provide the critical services that they do for clients as they usually do. Those services include rental assistance, utility assistance, and gas cards.
Gas cards are really key in North Spokane County due to the fact that we don't have public transportation in the majority of our service area. So the low-income families, they really rely on those gas cards to get to the grocery store, also to get to doctor's appointments.
For information on ways you can make monetary donations or food donations, visit our website at KXLY.com. Reporting in North Spokane County, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Your Tuesday planner, it's going to be a cool start to the day. We'll be down in the 30s, some of the outlying areas getting down around freezing. Expect a mix of sun and clouds, some isolated sprinkles possible in the afternoon, mainly over the higher terrain. That high temperature of 60, a little below average, that will not be the case for long. A more than 20-degree jump in the 7-day outlook. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Sandpoint Furniture.
Dupixent helps people with asthma breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. And when you can breathe better, what isn't better? This is better. This is better. That's better. And that. Even this. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. It works with your asthma medicine to help improve lung function. That's pretty good. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's proven to help prevent asthma attacks. It can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And doesn't that make things better? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Tell your doctor right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. When you can get more out of your lungs, you can do more with less asthma. And isn't that better? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic in asthma.
What can we make for you today from the Sweet Palace in Phillipsburg, Montana?
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What do you call chips that aren't yours? Nacho chips.
On your screen right now, some of the aftermath in parts of the South, including Texas, following a weekend of heavy rainfall. Now a new storm system is moving into that area.
The National Weather Service putting much of Oklahoma at the highest risk possible for intense tornadoes. ABC's Jacqueline Lee gives us a closer look at some of the damage left behind.
More than 20 million people in the South are recovering after severe storms and flooding inundated the region. In Johnson County, Texas, police say 2 adults and a 4-year-old boy were swept away while attempting to get out of their car, which got stuck in the swift-moving waters. The man and woman survived, but the 4-year-old boy's body was found hours later. He was about to celebrate his 5th birthday.
It's a terrible, demoralizing feeling. I mean, it ain't a fire, but it's close second.
In Oklahoma, ahead of severe weather tonight, Governor Kevin Stitt warning the tornado threats aren't over yet, saying on X, "We're planning for the worst and praying for the best," with NOAA's Storm Prediction Center issuing the highest severe weather risk possible, warning residents of multiple intense long-track tornadoes this afternoon and evening. In Houston, police capturing the daring rescue of a resident and 3 dogs from severe flooding after nearly 2 feet of rain fell in a matter of days. Trees toppled from ground saturation. The Harris County Sheriff saying they rescued more than 233 people and 186 pets.
I lost everything. Everything's flooded. Everything's all my things. I got my dogs though, and I'm going to relocate for sure.
What do you do next?
And start over.
And to paint a picture of how severe the flooding is, the San Jacinto River swelled nearly 78 feet above sea level, which is 30 feet higher than normal. First responders in the Midwest are activated and ready ahead of the severe weather tonight. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Makes it seem petty to be complaining about any thunderstorms moving through our area right now.
Really? Absolutely, and most of those have tapered off. We do have a few areas where we're seeing some isolated convection, mainly over the Palouse, south of Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, and very little in terms of thunderstorm activity at this point. We do have some pretty good rains coming down. This is US 95 near Potlatch with some standing water on the road. Brief heavy downpours this this evening, but those will be coming to an end very shortly. It is going to stay breezy overnight through Tuesday. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. Isolated showers possible tomorrow. We're going to be warming up fast into the 80s by the weekend. Here is our temperature trend. The white line is average. We are headed into the 80s by Saturday and Sunday, thanks to a building ridge of high pressure over the region. Here's a look at our forecast radar for Tuesday. Meanwhile, we will see some isolated showers developing in the afternoon. Here's noon with mostly cloudy skies, then just a sprinkle or two possible through the early portion of the evening. And it is going to be a breezy day. Sustained winds and the 15-mile-per-hour range through the day, with wind gusts in the morning as high as 25 miles per hour, in the afternoon as high as 30 miles per hour. It's going to be a cool start to the day. We'll be in the mid-30s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but many of the outlying areas could be down around freezing. High temperatures in the 60s in eastern Washington, in the 50s for most of North Idaho. In your planning forecast, we've got partly cloudy skies on Wednesday, and then we are into the sunshine full force through Mother's Day on Sunday. Start to see our temperatures moderate a little bit on Monday. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Former U.S. Senate candidate Tiffany Smiley announced she will be running for Congress. She is hoping to represent Washington's 4th congressional district, currently held by Representative Dan Newhouse. According to her announcement, Smiley will be a tireless advocate for conservative policies like limited government, fiscal responsibility, and individual freedom.
Spokane County Treasurer, former State Senator Michael Baumgartner announced he's running to represent Washington's 5th District on Capitol Hill. That seat is currently held by Representative Cathy McMorris Rodgers, who announced she will not be running for re-election following her 10th term in Congress. The Shoshone County Sheriff's Office is rolling out its new backcountry team. It'll help reach over 1.8 million acres and those far-out areas that have little to no policing. And now, with a lot of planning, this will be a full-time team as long as staffing allows.
We now know the name of the suspect and the officers in a shootout in Moses Lake over the weekend. These are the 2 Moses Lake police officers who shot at a suspect Saturday night, Sergeant Adam Monroe and Officer Todd Taylor. Sergeant Monroe is now recovering from a gunshot wound. It happened during a check for a domestic disturbance at a Motel 6. Police say they then arrived and exchanged gunfire with 37-year-old Zachary Stockton. The officer is recovering from surgery. The suspect was treated and released into police custody. It's still not clear exactly what led to the shooting.
All right, still ahead, why the city of Spokane is replacing its parking meters for the 2nd time in as many years. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Some injury lawyers you see on TV aren't even from here. They could be in Texas, California,
or even worse, Florida.
Local representation matters.
Good luck getting attention from 1,000 miles away.
Call the advocates.
We're here for you, not way over there for you.
For 25 years, GMA's Breakfast in Bed has supersized the joy of Mother's Day.
Oh, my goodness.
And now this week...
Hey, who's ready for Breakfast in Bed? Bam!
Only on...
Good Morning America.
Happy 25 years of Breakfast in Bed.
You work hard for your money, and now you can get money back on state taxes you already paid with the Washington State Working Families Tax Credit. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Lyman. I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and my entire practice is dedicated to taking care of patients with knee problems. From ACL and meniscus tears to total knee replacements, I want to make sure you're ready for life's adventures. I'm here to help you master your knee pain and regain your active lifestyle. Visit me at the Orthopedic Sports Institute's new state-of-the-art surgery center in Hayden. Ready to take the first step? Call for a consultation today and let me help guide you to a pain-free future.
Call or click today and set up your consultation with Orthopedic Sports Institute.
Western Skies Construction
a local owned and operated company with 3 generations of experience. We're licensed, bonded, and insured, and we offer free estimates. Our team is committed to improving the life of your asphalt parking lots, roads, and driveways. Call us today at 509-315-7974. That's 509-315-7974.
You know what I've learned from playing soccer? Play as a team, outwit your opponent, and never give up.
You know what I've learned from being a lawyer? Play as a team, outwit your opponent, never give up.
No wonder we work so well together.
Yeah.
Coats for Kids Closet Cleanout is brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
All of a sudden, I just seen a gun pointing right at me. And at that point, all I could do was try to run for cover.
Oh, well, in Pennsylvania, Pastor Glenn Germany says he's grateful to be alive. During Sunday's service, a man stood up and pointed a gun at him.
And witnesses say he pulled the trigger. All of it was caught on the church's live stream. A church member rushed into action, tackling the gunman, you see it right here, and pulling that gun away, eliminating the threat.
In God they chose. He could have lost his life in that struggle, but he sacrificed himself for everyone, and that's he's the hero.
And the pastor says he'd never seen the gunman before yesterday, but noticed him frequently coming in and out of the church, making eye contact, and even smiling at him. Pennsylvania State Police say the gunman will now face attempted murder charges. In news for your health, eating a healthy diet and staying active are both good for your health, or heart, excuse me.
Your heart, yeah. And one study suggests that it's also taking care of your mental health. A 2022 report from the American Heart Association suggests social isolation and loneliness may raise the risk of having and even dying from a heart attack or stroke.
It's pretty clear why. And that is the level of stress, and stress which then leads to inflammation, which then leads to cardiovascular disease, is clearly and well documented to be higher in individuals who are either lonely or socially isolated.
And while loneliness can be felt by anyone, it can really impact seniors, especially those who've lost a partner or friends, and in teens who spend a lot of time on devices instead of socializing in person.
The responsibility is really on the healthcare community to make sure that we get this message out, that our patients are well educated, well informed of the benefits of all these cardiovascular risk factor interventions.
And some of those interventions include management of blood pressure, glucose levels, weight management, and social activity.
An experimental gene therapy restored some vision in a small group of patients with a form of inherited blindness. 14 patients underwent a surgical procedure that involved injecting the gene editing therapy under the retina of one of their eyes. Researchers said most of the trial participants had meaningful improvement in their vision 3 months later. They said the results were sustained during subsequent visits and there were no serious side effects. However, they note the therapy remains experimental and should be tested on a larger group of people.
We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including details on the new ordinance meant to better protect renters during dangerous heat waves.
He walked in the front window and peeked his eyeball in there. Like, yeah, I know y'all home. Like.
And a woman in Texas gets a surprise visitor what the bull may have been searching for.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Get moving with Dan the Moving Man. You might know us as Dan the Piano Man, but times they're a-changin'. When it comes to piano moving, service, and storage, we're a local legend. And now we bring the same skills that built our reputation to every household move we make. Big moves, small moves, modern furniture, priceless heirlooms. For almost 50 years, our neighbors have trusted us with their treasures. We'll make your move easy and stress-free. Call today for a free estimate. Dan the Moving Man, 509-922-1085.
Meet Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo. Fargo makes banking faster and easier.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
Lets you pick up the tab, even if you forget your wallet.
I got this.
Fargo, send Kaz $145 with Zelle.
Smooth. Fargo puts important information at your fingertips.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries this month?
Hey, Dad, can the guy stay for dinner?
No.
Want to see everything Fargo can do? You can with Wells Fargo.
Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic is locally owned and operated and has been providing personalized, comfortable, and satisfying care to our clients for over 30 years. Our licensed denturists are trained in the latest techniques in the construction, development, and preparatory work of a denture. Full dentures, implant attachments, repairs, fittings, adjustments, we do it all. Every denture is made to look as close as possible to your natural teeth. With our knowledge and friendly staff, competitive costs, and quality of service, you'll leave Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic smiling.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Shopping frenzy. Next Inside Edition, the Mad Dash. No, it's not Black Friday. The craziest shopping spree ever. Then, the 5-year-old girl who got her hand stuck in the elevator door.
It was terrifying. It was like an outer-body experience.
This mom's warning to other parents. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Coeur d'Alene tonight. The Post Falls teen accused of yelling racial slurs at the University of Utah women's basketball team during the NCAA tournament won't face any charges.
The prosecutor's office saying there wasn't enough evidence to charge him with the crime. That 18-year-old Post Falls high school student confessed to yelling the slurs. We aren't naming him because he's not being charged with a crime. The prosecutor's office says the use of a racial slur could not meet the legal requirements for any of the narrow categories of unprotected speech. Tony Stewart of the Kootenai County Task Force on Human Relations says he's disappointed in the decision, but says the report proves the incident did happen.
It was also reported that 2 trucks were speeding by, revving their engines and yelling racial slurs in an effort to intimidate the team. During the investigation, the prosecutor says there is no audio recording to support those claims.
And we're continuing to track developments on a possible ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Officials with Hamas saying they have accepted a deal, but Israel says the current proposal has significant gaps. ABC's Perry Russum explains the confusion this is creating for the civilians caught in the middle of this war.
Celebrations in the streets of Gaza after Hamas announced it's accepted a ceasefire deal with Israel. But Israel says it is not the same framework Israel proposed at the negotiation table. CIA Director William Burns is in the region, part of the negotiating partners.
And he's working this in real time on the ground.
A spokesman for Israel Defense Forces says they will study Hamas's latest response and at the same time continue operations in Gaza. Today, the IDF says they attacked 50 Hamas targets in Rafah, the southern Gazan city where more than 1 million Palestinian refugees are sheltering from war. The Israeli military says they started evacuating refugees from the eastern part of the city, sending them to humanitarian zones. Some people checking evacuation orders on cell phones, but there is still confusion on the ground. This man says, "This has left us confused. Where should we go? You told me to come to Rafah. You tell me where you want me to be so I can be done with the whole crisis." Negotiations between Israel and Hamas had apparently been breaking down before news of a ceasefire agreement by Hamas. The group had been demanding Israel withdraw and stop its bombardment.
We will be discussing this response with our partners over the coming hours. We continue to believe that a hostage deal is in the best interests of the Israeli people. It's in the best interest of the Palestinian people. It would bring an immediate ceasefire. It would allow increased movement of humanitarian assistance, and so we're going to continue to work to try to reach one.
President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke on the phone this morning. This was before the announcement of any ceasefire deal by Hamas. The White House says Biden does not want to see any major military operation in Rafah that puts refugees at risk. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, a day to mourn the 6 million Jewish people killed by Nazis in World War II. One of our very own Spokanites, Carla Pepperzak, is a Holocaust survivor and World War II hero. And later this evening, the Temple Beth Shalom Synagogue is hosting a local Holocaust Remembrance Day memorial for community members to remember, grieve, and learn from this dark period of history. Tonight's observance starts in just under a half an hour at 7 o'clock at that temple on the South Hill. Hear from Spokane's Jewish community on what they'd like people to take away from this tonight on Nightside.
All right, here's a live look over downtown Spokane where things will be warming up over the next few days. But first, we're tracking some isolated showers. We're going to send it over to Chris Crocker now with your first alert forecast.
Yes, as we look the other direction, west, you can see some of those showers on the horizon, but also a lot of blue sky. The showers are the exception here. Let's take a look at our Doppler radar. And we did have some thunderstorm activity earlier in the evening. That is tapered off, and now we are left with some showers, and those are starting to lose their steam, particularly right along the Spokane and Whitman County line. We're seeing some of that shower activity from around Sprague, actually, through Rosalia and up around Plummer. We will see these showers taper off as we get into the evening, but there's still the possibility to see a sprinkle or two around the area tonight. Temperatures tonight are going to be cooling down around freezing in some of the outlying areas. Spirit Lake, Deer Park, 34 in Spangle and 34 out at Airway Heights. Not freezing, but still, if you have some petunias or pansies or pretty hanging baskets, I would bring them in just in case, because that is a cold night for some of those more tender plants. High temperatures tomorrow, though, will be up around 60 degrees. 64 is our average high. Isolated showers possible in the late afternoon and evening, but for the most part, we are drying out and warming up. I'll let you know how warm we're going to get coming up in your 7-day forecast, Eric.
All right, Chris, thank you. The Spokane City Council is debating a new ordinance meant to better protect renters during dangerous heat waves like the one that killed 19 people in 2021. One study on Spokane says addressing extreme heat is a public policy issue and one that impacts the most vulnerable in our community. The ordinance says on days when the National Weather Service has predicted a heat-related alert, a landlord cannot prohibit or restrict the tenant from installing or using a portable cooling device.
We're not looking to put impetus on landlords to be able to manage this. It's more making sure that the tenant has access to something that isn't built into that living space already.
And the ordinance is being proposed by City Council President Betsy Wilkerson and Councilmember Kitty Klitsky.
Well, you'll soon start seeing new parking meters in downtown Spokane. Crews will be replacing 200 dual space meters with 400 individual space meters. The new meters are meant to help streamline the current parking space reservation process and improve customer experience. On blocks with active installation, you will not be ticketed for not paying for parking. All other parking rules still apply.
It's a story that's never been told. For the first time on camera, a former roommate of the students murdered at the University of Idaho sat down with us, telling her story. Ashlyn Couch moved into 1122 King Road with Kaylee Consalvis and Madison Mogan in 2020. She moved out of the house only 6 months before the murders.
I want to do more. I want to, spread some kind of message and start something, help people, just do something more with this life that we are grateful to still be living.
In an emotional interview, Ashlyn also tells us the moment she found out her best friends were killed, plus her new life mission after the tragedy in the house she called home. Join us for this exclusive interview tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6.
We have a correction to make on one of the local stories we covered for you last month. On April 18th, we explored a conditional use permit for a building at the corner of Howard and Mansfield in north central Spokane. The permit stated grocery store, and neighbors we talked to were excited about that prospect. But it turns out the building will actually be turned into a convenience store. We want to apologize for the error. 4 News Now strives for accuracy in each story we cover. Right now, the storefront is changing owners, and the potential buyer has not set a date for when it will open.
All right, Kyle Manzardo started the season in the minors.
But tonight, the Coeur d'Alene native and Washington State Cougar is making his major league debut.
Yeah, this was a moment not only anticipated for us in the Inland Northwest, but for a lot of Cleveland fans as well, as the #2 overall prospect in their organization made his way into the starting lineup. Coming up in sports, see how he fared and if he was able to get his first major league hit.
Flaherty's 1-2 is
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
PAR, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you gonna build?
It's more than a necklace. Celebrate the moment. Tracy Jewelers.
Considering a new air conditioner? Before you commit, call Bill's Heating and AC. We're elevating efficiency and savings by matching heat pump prices to any local air conditioner quotes and setting a new standard for comfort. Why heat pumps? Similar to ACs, they offer high efficiencies to heat and cool your home for a lower cost. And with the purchase of qualifying equipment, you may be eligible to receive a 25C tax credit of up to $3,200. Don't miss out. Call Bill's Heating and AC for your free quote now.
Spokane stepped onto the world stage by hosting Expo 74.
And Wendell Ford was there, celebrating our community spirit.
We're still here, continuing that legacy started by Kristen's grandfather in 1943.
To celebrate, we have some of the best financing and savings we've ever offered.
Escape, Bronco, Explorer, and the F-150.
Some with 0% for 72 months. Celebrate with us.
Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division.
Drive for generations.
Remodeling your kitchen? Fred's has the latest in kitchen appliances from GE Cafe on sale.
With a variety of custom cafe colors and options, makes it easy to personalize your kitchen.
And when it's time for cleanup, the GE Cafe dishwasher offers loading flexibility and a reversing wash arm to clean every inch of your dishes.
Get up to $2,000 in rebates in GE Cafe appliances.
Come in and see the great selection of cafe kitchen packages at Fred's.
It's more than a necklace. Celebrate the moment. Tracy Jewelers.
Next, ET. I'm unroastable. Let's go. Everything you didn't see from the Tom Brady roast.
I've had a lot of great experiences in my life. This is certainly another one.
Next, ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Things you'll hear on Jeopardy Masters this season.
What is Aquinas?
What is cuneiform?
What's potty training?
6 all-time greats, 1 incredible tournament.
I'm the final boss. This is what I do.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event continues tonight on ABC.
Well, if the Seattle Seahawks want to make a run at the NFC West title this upcoming season, there are a lot of positions that need to be upgraded. And based on how the team drafted 2 weeks ago, you can tell where a lot of those needs really are. Well, the Hawks used their 16th overall pick with defensive tackle Byron Murphy II out of Texas. Now, Seattle wasn't bad on the defensive line last season. They were able to put some pressure on opposing QBs, putting up 47 sacks, but they also gave up the second most rushing yards in the league. And they hope a guy like Murphy in the trenches can really limit those big runs.
Well, I feel like the scheme and the defense that we run, I feel like the position I'm in, I feel like that's it creates a lot of one-on-ones for me. So I feel like, and with one-on-ones, I feel like I can get it, get a lot of sacks, also have a successful season, successful career.
Now, on the other side of the ball, there were all kinds of issues on the offensive line last season. A lot of that was due to injuries, but the organization clearly wants to continue to build depth in the trenches and hoping they can jumpstart the run game. They used their third-round pick on offensive guard Christian Hayes out of UConn. He was a 2-time All-American in college, and he's going to have a great chance to start right away for the Seahawks. And he used this past weekend's rookie minicamp to show off his skills.
Just technique-wise, learning what the coaches want and just showing that, still move my feet, have my hands in the right placement and my hand in the right place. Just showing that I'm able to have a technique-sound player.
Now, last week, the NBA released a list of 78 players that were invited to the draft combine, but that number has to be amended to 79 as Washington State forward Jalen Wells finally received an invite today. In his one season, Wells scored more than 12 points a game and was named All Pac-12 honorable mention as he helped lead the Cougars to their first NCAA tournament since 2008. According to ESPN, Jalen is the 54th ranked prospect in this year's draft. Now, let's head out to Cleveland, where Coeur d'Alene native and Washington State Cougar Kyle Mendoza Manzardo, excuse me, made his Major League debut with the Guardians tonight in the second inning. First at bat, he goes down swinging, a real welcome to the big leagues moment for the Cleveland second-ranked prospect, but he's going to get another crack at it. In the fifth, facing a full count, and he goes down swinging again with a breaking ball, his second strikeout of the game. So maybe the third time around is going to be the charm. However, in the seventh, 1-2 count, and he's going to go chasing again. A third strikeout. He finishes 0 for 3 in his debut, but the Guardians get the 2-1 win to stay in first place in the AL Central. So obviously a little bit of jitters there in your Major League debut. Yeah. That's natural. Not everyone's going to go 4 for 4 with 3 home runs.
He's torn it up at every level. I think he's going to end up being just fine.
That's a tough start. That's a tough one.
Thanks, Alex.
Well, during a joint Trump-RNC fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend, the former president brought a handful of his potential running mates on stage.
Some of those on the short list for vice president made high-profile TV appearances after the event. CNN's Julia Benbrook has more on Trump's search for a VP.
Several of former President Donald Trump's potential running mates appeared with him at a fundraiser at Mar-a-Lago over the weekend.
There's a lot of names that are in the mix. I'm honored to have my names as one of them.
House GOP Conference Chair Elise Stefanik, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum are among the names that have been floated.
Maybe there's a list of 50. If I'm on it, who would know? But it's not why I'm out supporting the president right now.
Several on that list seemingly continued their auditions with television appearances on Sunday.
At the end of the day, the 47th president of the United States will be President Donald Trump, and I'm excited to get back to low inflation, low unemployment.
Another politician who has been a part of the conversation is South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem. She also hit the airwaves this weekend defending herself after an excerpt of her book detailed her killing a goat and her 14-month-old dog on her farm.
This book is filled with vulnerable, painful moments in my life, filled with times where I've made very difficult decisions. The reason that this story is in the book, because people need to understand who I am and some of those difficult decisions.
Sources say Noem was off the short list long before the excerpts dropped and won't be under consideration anytime soon. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
The Department of Education is giving $50 million to organizations that are helping more students fill out the FAFSA. It's part of a strategy to boost the completion rate among high schoolers. The FAFSA helps determine how much federal student aid you qualify for. Out of all states and territories, Washington is number 45 for the percentage of graduating high schoolers who have submitted a FAFSA at just 27%. Idaho is 44th with 28%. The new FAFSA has been plagued with glitches and delays in award packages, so universities have pushed back their decision dates. Decision day for Gonzaga and Whitworth is now June 1st. Now, if your child is preparing to go to college, but you're struggling to navigate the process of applying for financial aid, the College Success Foundation is able to help you this Thursday at Ferris High School. It's hosting a financial aid night from 5:30 to 7:30 to help you navigate the FAFSA, WASFA, and other financial aid topics. Bring your questions and an electronic device you can use to fill out forms. There will also be a dinner and a raffle for gift cards for students.
4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be breezy through Tuesday with some isolated showers possible, mainly over the higher terrain. We are warming up fast into the 80s by the weekend. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and a look at some of the wet weather we've had over the last 24 hours.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When your backyard is bursting with color and beauty, you're feeling more than pride. You've got the power of the flower from the Plant Farm. The power of the flower gives you creativity, inspiration, energy, and so much more. With the helping hand of the Plant Farm, life excites and your talent knows no boundaries. Bring home the power of the flower from the Plant Farm today, because life is better in the garden.
So what do you think about these?
Yeah, we're going to take...
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Don't relocate, renovate. As your needs change, update your bathroom with aging and accessibility solutions designed to keep the space safe and stylish. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,500 off your complete bathroom remodel.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
Reach out to NeuroStim TMS today and rediscover the light and joy in your life.
It all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy Silverado with the TurboMax engine and best-in-class standard torque. And Chevy Silverado HD with up to 14 available camera views. Do more in a Chevy truck. Get yours now.
Get $5,750 total value on this Silverado when you trade in an eligible vehicle. That's 10% below MSRP. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Ford News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Spokane, the most amazing care anywhere.
Less than a week warning about Mother's Day. Turns out if you want to wait until the last minute, you may actually save some bucks.
Retailers know they have limited time to get these gifts off of shelves, and they're going to be marking things down. Maybe you're celebrating with her a couple days later. Shop the day after Mother's Day. A lot of the jewelry, beauty products, and Mother's Day centric gifts are going to be marked down.
Instead of a hand-picked present, gift cards are more common to let her decide what she wants for herself. I actually made my purchase for Mother's Day for my mom on Saturday, and then today I got an email that I would have gotten free expedited shipping.
Oh no, if you'd waited.
Oh.
See, my procrastination always pays off in the end when it comes to Mother's Day.
I'm still a blank slate, and I've got to mail it to Idaho Falls, so I want to know what you got later. Yeah. Okay.
Good thing yesterday was not Mother's Day with all the rain we had.
Yes, and the Mother's Day forecast is looking fantastic, but boy, it was nice to get some rain. The timing, not that great on Bloomsday, but we put some rain in the bucket. Now, on Bloomsday, we picked up 3/600ths of an inch in Spokane. That was the total out at the airport, and then we added an additional 1/10 of an inch since midnight today, so almost a ½ inch of precipitation. There were some higher totals. Newman Lake, for example, was one of the spots that had the most rain, had almost an inch of rain, so that's good news. We have farmers who are seeding fields and growing their beautiful winter wheat, so everything's getting a good drink. I'm tracking the spring rain from March 1st through May 31st, meteorological spring, and we've fallen a little bit behind. We want to get here to be average, 4.62. So far, we've had exactly 2 inches of precipitation with a little less than a month to go in meteorological spring, and not a lot of hope to be adding to it. Here's our chance of precipitation over the next 5 days. We're at 0 through most of the 7-day forecast. Tomorrow we may see a sprinkle or two, a 10% chance of measurable rain. I don't like our odds. And then looking out, this is picking up where the 7-day leaves off, the 8 to 14-day forecast. A hint toward drier than average conditions, but we're in the gray, which indicates there's nothing really to sway us one way or another. So hopefully we will get some good rains coming as we get closer to our fire season. Temperatures, meanwhile, we have got quite a warming trend. This white line is our average high. We're below average again tomorrow, 60 degrees. That was our high today as well. Right about average Wednesday, and then we take a jump and we'll be in the 80s by the weekend. And the extended forecast then, that 8 to 14 day outlook, is indicating a very strong possibility of above average temperatures right on through the middle of May. Now tonight we are going to be cooling down into the 30s in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Some of the outlying areas may get down around freezing, so if you have got some plants that you want to protect from that cold, cover them up. Tuesday's high temperatures 50s through North Idaho with a better chance of some clouds and showers, sunnier and warmer weather further to the west. Your planning forecast, there's that Mother's Day, 81 degrees and mostly sunny, and the overnight lows. We should be in good shape to plant on Mother's Day. I will keep a close eye as we go beyond. I know a lot of you have some flowers, and I will sound the alarm if we are going to get anywhere near freezing. Kirsten.
It looks beautiful. Thank you, Chris. Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
If you're ready to transform your garden into a beautiful oasis, look no further than Barn & Blossom's Nursery on the Spokane South Hill. The knowledgeable staff can help you select the perfect plants and flowers for your space. Whether you're looking for perennials, annuals, shrubs, or trees, Barn & Blossom's deeply rooted history in the hills of the Palouse remains and now offers new experiences to its patrons. Join us on Mother's Day for food, cider, and live music. Experience Barn & Blossom's Nursery today and create the garden of your dreams.
May I please have the Cobb salad, no cheese, no bacon, extra tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and dressing on the side? Do you have pea Chalene olives?
Wow, that is an order.
Perfect. I like things the way I like them.
It makes sense. At the Advocates, we're just as picky about what we demand for our clients.
Our clients deserve what they deserve.
Exactly. We won't stand for anything less.
Now, for dessert,
Oh, no.
I'll have the white chocolate.
Injured? You deserve justice. You deserve an advocate.
This year, make your home more energy efficient and beautiful with McVey Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. Did you know McVey Brothers sells the popular Coeur d'Alene windows? And last year, the 6000 Window and Door Series won the prestigious Energy Star Efficiency Award. Well, right now, when you purchase a 6000 Series window, we'll match your energy rebate up to $10 per square foot. Plus, give you $500 off any roof you add to the job. At McVey Brothers, we're always working for you.
BECU would like to celebrate your mom this Mother's Day. Share a picture of your mom and tell us the impact she's made on your life. She'll be entered for a chance to win a $75 gift card, courtesy of BECU. Enter at KXLY.com/momsday.
It's a parent, not me.
Nice going, Lou. Nothing like a little confidence boost to help ease you back into the dating scene. That includes having a smile you feel good about. Fortunately, Aspen Dental specializes in dentures and implants made just for you. And with flexible financing, you don't need to sacrifice quality work for a price that fits your budget at $0 down plus 0% interest if paid in full in 18 months. Helping our patients put their best smile forward. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
At America Northwest Plumbing, they do everything from service calls to bathroom remodels to new construction. They can take care of your plumbing solutions no matter what the need. They are dedicated, professional, and dependable. Call or click America Northwest Plumbing today, your one-stop plumbing shop.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Plant Farm.
Oh, the best video of the evening. Some officers in Texas dealing with a bull that escaped its pen in search of bananas. Oh. Yeah, this all started when a neighbor decided to start feeding some of the young bulls through a fence in her yard until one night she saw one of them right outside her home.
He walked in the front window and peeked his eyeball in there. Like, yeah, I know y'all home. Like.
So the woman called police to help wrangle the bull, and they eventually managed to lead the bull back to the pasture. The woman says she plans on cutting back on feeding time. Maybe not necessarily completely stopping it, though.
Needs his potassium. He likes those bananas.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's a big pet to be feeding.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, thanks for being with us here on 4 News Now at 6. We'll be back for Nightside starting at 11 o'clock.